spectacle, a cavalcade of dancing lights trying to hype this crowd into a frenzy, and it's working because they know what a huge matchup is in store. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the LSU Fighting Tigers, Baton Rouge and Tiger Stadium. As we'll see a squad from Conference USA, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, taking on a team from the SEC, the LSU Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer alongside. Guys, we can't wait to see this game. Been looking forward to it all week. Put a foot to it for the opening kickoff. Fielded in the end zone, it's Mack. It's great to think you're going to score every time you return it, but man, what a bad decision. He's down at the 6. So Western Kentucky's offense takes the field. And Jesse, they've got a quarterback that if he can get into a rhythm can certainly make plays for his team.
Here's the thing about him, too. He's not the most consistent guy, and he's not the most talented quarterback in the country, but when he's hot, he's really, really tough to stop, David. It's important they get this guy going early.
Yeah, and it's not just him. Like, the offense has to, around him, play well. They've got to protect him. Receivers have to make plays. The running game would be good to get going, so it's got to be a team effort because then he can really be at his best.
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting him know it's going to be a long day. Hammers his way across the 10, picks up 4 to the 11. Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place, trying to help their defense. The give to the back. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down.
Now, what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Kick is in the air. He'll make the fair catch at the 44, and they'll have terrific field position. The LSU Tigers offense will get the ball for the first time. They're led by a sensational signal caller, and Jesse, one thing every elite quarterback knows is where to find the weak spot in the secondary, and there might be a few of them there.
Yeah, there's no mystery where this quarterback is going to be throwing the football and who he's going to be trying to pick on. They knew coming into this game this was going to be the matchup they want to take advantage of. Now, David, the defense and their coordinator are going to have to find creative ways to help out this quarterback and use safety coverage over the top, some zone, to try and get him as many doubles as they can. But you can't double cover all game long. This guy's going to be on an island from time to time, and you know that's when the quarterback's going to go after.
And I was about to say, dude, I'm not giving you that opportunity. I'm not putting him on an island. I'm going to use zone coverages. I'm going to try to hide him as much as I can. You see this all the time. You know you're at a deficiency. How do you mask it? How do you hide it? If he goes one-on-one on an island, that's a bad job calling defense.
The Tigers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Tries to surge ahead on the sneak.
Well, and he gets stuffed on that QB sneak. He's just not doing a really good job of reading the crease and finding a little space to kind of tuck into and drive his feet. He's just running himself into a wall, Dave.
Well, and how about the big boys up front? Make a crease. Push somebody back. Create some space. There was nowhere to go.
LSU trying to convert a 4th down. Tries to get it on the ground. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
Yeah, at this point of the drive, 4th down and inches in your opponent's territory, you're trying to get into field goal range. You're just going to run the football. You're going to try to be more physical at the line of scrimmage. They were right there.
LSU getting set on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Finds the tight end. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the 2nd quarter. defense has dominated the early part of this game, and the stats point that out emphatically. Both sides trying to find a little rhythm and efficiency and move the ball some here as we start the second quarter. From the gun, the give, looking for room. Gets it past the first down marker and still running. He's brought down the run, a play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line.
When you talk about creating big plays in the running game like this makes the game really easy. Actually, when you've got a guy like this that you can hand it to with this much speed and elusiveness, just hard to bring down in the open field, what a big gain for the offense.
Rides the back on the option, the give. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple. We'll take a quick break as we have reached the final 2 minutes of the first half. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. To the air, it's Nussmeier. He's got it. And they make the stop, and this offense has it inside the 5, and they are threatening. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Now on fourth down, they'll try to come away with 3. And he'll boot one from the right hash. He ought to be able to navigate that angle from this distance. He splits the uprights. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
And they don't get 7 on that opening drive, but they get 3. And this place is rocking. Night games are always so loud, so obnoxious, and these fans, they get something to cheer about with that first offensive possession.
After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go. On the run from inside his own 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. On the run, it's Parrish. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 29-yard line.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
And the Hilltoppers with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Back to pass. Pulls it in. It's Hutchinson. Ripping off a pretty good chunk of yardage. They've got it out to the 41 with a first down. Oh, man, did he turn that one loose and fired it into the teeth of the zone.
And you know as a quarterback, Reese, when you're throwing it to the perimeter of the field on these curl routes, you've got to have some heat. You've got to have arm talent to get that ball out quickly into the hands of your receiver before all those defenders can get to it. Man, this QB's got a cannon.
All down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
Man, just find ways to find the big fellas. Those big tight ends are huge targets for the quarterbacks. The throws are usually in between the numbers. That makes it pretty easy. Usually sure-handed guys like that just come across the field and make plays for him.
Looking to throw on first down. Rushes on him. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
Well, the offense trying to stay aggressive, right? You just came up with a huge play, and right away you go back to another pass, but you got to do a better job protecting your quarterback. Can't give up a sack there.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Caught over the middle, it's Barry. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
If you're going to attack and have success against man coverage, then you've got to have great timing between the quarterback and the wide receiver. really nice rapport. You could tell these two have been spending a lot of time this offseason throwing to him.
On third down, he drops to throw. Snagged in the middle, it's Henry. Brought down at the 31, it is a first down.
Well, and a nice job working the middle of the field. I think it's so important to keep defenses honest, and you can't just dink and dunk outside. You got to work the middle. Great job finding this wide receiver over the middle of the field.
The Hilltoppers with the 1st and 10. Wants to throw on first down. Got it in the middle, it's Hampton. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the first down. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Looking to pass inside the red zone. He's got his man. And the defense makes the tackle, and that ought to do it here in the first half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, by the looks of things, we've had one enjoyable first half in Baton Rouge. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. And with that, let's head back to Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge.
And the Hilltoppers will kick it away to crank up the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. And when your defense is performing like this, pitching a shutout, you want to find a way to reward them and help them out a little bit, David.
And I guess that's the upside for this offense. Their defense has been so good, but man, oh man, they've got to find something, Jesse, that they can hang their hat on, something they can do to move the football.
It just feels like at this point, they kick one more field goal and this is ball game because of how well their defense is playing. So I think offensively, just don't do anything stupid and give the game away.
Off play action. That's reeled in. It's Brown. He'll be run out of bounds, but we've got laundry on the field. Let's see what that's about.
Offense will take that. Free 5 yards every time. Bad discipline by the defense.
Grab near the marker. It's Anderson. Brought down, but looks as if LSU will pick up the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. To the air, it's Nussmeier. He'll throw it. Fires to the tight end. And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain.
Coming into this one, I thought this guy was going to be a monster. He was going to put up huge numbers. We know this is a big part of the offense week in, week out. The defense has done a great job clamping down on him. That is only his 2nd catch so far in this game.
Going to swing it on second down. Not able to hook up the air, incomplete. They've got some work to do on this 3rd and long from the 40. Looking to throw again. That's caught. It's Brown. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
Yeah, and you wonder if that was the right read by the quarterback on that RPO. Maybe he should have just handed that off because there was nobody open downfield to throw to.
Well, will they dial up on second and a long way to go? They'll leave it with him. Make the stop at the 40, but it's a 10-yard gain and a fresh set of downs.
That's a big key for this offense. Now, you've got the lead here in the second half. You want to run the football. You've got to just keep getting positive yards. You got to keep the third downs manageable so you can stay on the field, bleed the clock. That's going to be the key for this offense and their team winning the game.
Looking for a man. It's Nussmeier. Got him downfield. All the way down to the 25-yard line. They move the sticks. It's first down. Think about when Garrett Nussmeier goes into the quarterback room at LSU and there are giant murals of Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels, Heisman winners. Jesse, that's some pressure. But, man, if he can cut down on the turnovers, he might join them.
Yeah, there's no question about it, Reese. This guy has a lot of talent. I really also just appreciate the fact that he stayed put at LSU. In an era of college football where especially quarterbacks are transferring 2, 3, 4 times, naming off those guys you just did, it would have been so easy for Nussmeier to try to find another opportunity somewhere else. He believes LSU is the best situation for him to win a national championship and get him off to the NFL.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Trying play action. Fires to the wideout. Makes the grab. They get him down, and that'll be the final play of the third period. Guys, LSU has the lead here. And we've reached the end of the third, and time is running out if they're going to cut into this deficit. Let's take a look at our game stats before we move on. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. Quarterback on the keeper. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. They've got it down to the 3. Now it's second and goal. Looking to fire. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. And how big is that earlier sack now as they try to get it in the end zone here? Third and goal, and they'll try to pass it in. Looking for the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 5, but this offense powering toward a score. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. They already have the lead, but they will go for the knockout punch here in the fourth quarter on fourth and he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Tigers!
And that is a drive and a score they absolutely had to have. Now making it a 2-possession game late in this one. It wasn't going to be enough to just play it safe, play it conservative, punt the ball away and count on your defense. They were aggressive. They mixed it up, but getting that score, that is huge for their win probability now.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the extra point extends the lead to double figures at 10. That is what they mean when they say ball control, a 14-play touchdown drive. And finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. He'll bring it out. It's Mack. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. He'll start this drive firing. Makes the catch. It's Henry. Makes the stop at the 30, but a big 15-yard pickup gets him out of trouble.
And that was a nice throw by the QB. When you see that drag route coming across the field, how about putting the ball right on his numbers? Not high, not low, where he has to stop his momentum. Right on the numbers where he can catch it, keep running, and chew up some yards after the catch.
Looking to throw on first down. Throws to the wideout. Wide open downfield. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Well, that's great timing by the quarterback and receiver on that out route. If you're going to be running that against man coverage like they were there, that ball has to be thrown early, and it's got to be thrown out in front of the receiver, and they execute it perfectly.
They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. Looking downfield on first down. Got a man. It's Hampton. Steered out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. A big pickup, and they are threatening.
Hey, you know, the defense here in this situation with a huge lead, they've got to anticipate that this offense is going to be trying to throw the ball to the sideline, so they've got to work different coverages to try to force the quarterback to go over the middle of the field with the football.
They just keep firing. Makes the catch. It's Myers. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with a first down. When a defense is in zone coverage, Jesse, they want to react. How do you react to a howitzer coming out like that one?
Not much you can do because this guy's got a cannon. You saw all the eyeballs on defense on that play. They were waiting and anticipating that throw, but when you've got an arm like...
Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
That's a play the defense needed, right? It's been a battle all game long. Here we are, it's late, everybody's tired. They've given up a few yards on this drive, but they come away with a huge sack at a big moment.
The Hilltoppers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Lost to fire on second down. Release to the back. Catch in the middle, it's Parrish. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
I just love the job this offensive line is doing in this game, communicating pre-snap. They know where the pass rush is coming from, and they're working their single and double teams and not giving up any ground. Just look how clean that pocket was for the quarterback to throw from.
And this is caught for a touchdown, so hold on just a minute. We might have a finish here.
And listen, still a ways to go, but great job by this offense getting you back in the ball game. Now, we got a one-possession game. We got our score. We did what we're supposed to do. Now, how do we get this stop? Now, the defense has to come up big and get me the rock back.
Getting set for the point after. And with the extra point, the lead is cut to 3. It's 10-7.
That makes the score LSU 10, Western Kentucky 7.
They got the touchdown they needed. Now trailing by a field goal, they'll line up for the onside kick.
Yeah, and this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time. When you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.